I think once you start teaching one to face, like when you tip their nose in, they're going to want to face too much. And so you've got to really get it to where you can put pressure with your right rein and still keep them framed up and nose in. See, she's wanting to face, but I got to still just constantly put pressure right here so she knows it's not time yet. And then when I put my foot in her, then I'll let her face. I always want them facing into the rope or looking straight at it, but never almost faced. This is what a lot of people will do when they start teaching their horse how to face. As soon as they do this, their horse will just face, and then they can't. They get stuck here. Like, you got to be to where you can put this rein on this right rein on them, keep them framed up. See, like she wanted to face, like she needs to be waiting on my foot cue to face, you know, not just like anticipating ever so often. So when I can feel it ahead of time. When they start anticipating it a little bit, wanting to face, I'll just bump them with this right rein so they know that that's going into their neck. And so she can get ready to face, stay framed up, but she can't do it until I cue. When I'm teaching them, like if I gotta keep their ribs pushed through, I'll do that right behind the front cinch. And depending on the horse and how sensitive they are, like as I'm pulling or as I'm framing them up, I'm gonna be right here. And then when I go to face and give them that cue, it's either right in front of the back cinch, or if they're a little duller, sometimes I'll have to go right back here behind the back cinch to get them to get off my spur. But it's a really great question, and I don't get a chance to address it a lot. But when guys hear you got to use your right leg right there, there's a huge difference in how you use your right leg. I mean, like obviously when you use your right leg, you can use your calf pressure before you ever use your spur, which is what most people need to realize initially. But also, like when I just want to pull the steer or frame my horse up, my spur is just directly behind my front cinch. But when I want to move his hips, it goes from here to here. I mean, so it's fine tuning, and you can see how easy it is to get a horse confused if you're not exact with your feet. Because if it's just somewhere in the deal and you want them to do two different things with the same cue, I mean, you can see how confusing that can be to a horse. So that's why a lot of faces aren't real crisp, or the signals get mixed, because especially when you're teaching a horse, it needs to be, but also when you're going for money, they need to have those buttons put in to where I want you framed up, pushing, like really keep your ribs so that they're ready to face, and then boom, face, you know.